Hi, it's Jodi, and welcome to episode 2 of Tuesday Tips. Today we are going to talk about heat embossing. So to start, I'm going to use a greeting from the Christmas to Remember stamp set and just show you the basic technique of heat embossing. So I have my VersaMark ink pad. This ink is so versatile, I think it deserves its own Tuesday tip because there's a lot you could do with it. I'm just going to ink it up and stamp on this basic white label that I have pre-cut. And you're not going to see a whole lot. You can't really tell what I just did. That's the beauty of VersaMark ink. It's like a watermark ink, so it just does tone on tone. It's actually how I got the little dots on this Evening Evergreen cardstock as well. It just takes on the tone of whatever you stamp it on. And so because I stamped it on white, it's taking on the tone of white. If I pull it up, maybe you can see a little, oh, there you go. There you can see a little bit. When you'll see the most is after I pour the gold embossing powder over it. So I'll just pour the powder and then I tap this. Oops, gotta get that end a little better. I tap it really good because I want all that excess embossing powder off. I only want embossing powder on the stamped image. So then I'll scoop my powder out of the way. I use my heat tool and I'm just going to go right over the powder here. And what you'll notice when I start applying the heat is that this dull, grainy looking image will become raised and shiny gold. So do you see it starting to turn? I'm hoping that oh, there we go. See how it's starting to turn? And what's really important is that once it melts, you keep the heat tool moving because you don't want to scorch it. So if it was melted and I kept the heat on there, it would actually not be shiny like this anymore. It would just look like really flat and dull because it was just simply overheated. So that is the basic way to heat emboss. And that's what I did on this piece to add to this card. Yes, this happens to be one of the cards in my free card kit in the mail for this month, October 2021. So that's maybe where you've seen this one before. That's the basic heat embossing. What I want to show you is what I did on this card. If you remember our first Tuesday tip last week, we talked about the liquid glue and using that to attach this to the card base. And now, hopefully you can see a difference between the label that's on the card and this one here. So what I did, I probably should have grabbed my little tweezers, which I don't think are right here, but that's okay. What I did is I took this label and just touched it directly onto the edge of the VersaMark ink pad. I'm just going to do 3 sides just because I didn't grab my tweezers and I don't want to burn my fingers here. So I'm just going to sprinkle, do my tap. And this is going to be different every single time because you're going to get a different amount of that VersaMark ink around the edge every time you do it. And that's okay. That's fun to just have it be unique each time. So it's the same thing. I use the heat tool, and when I see it turning, I need to keep my heat source moving. So I want it to all be the metallic, melted, shiny gold. So you get the idea. There it is on the 3 sides, and then I'll pull in this finished one again so that you can see. It just adds so much to have that VersaMark followed by the embossing powder right around the edge of that label. So that's just another fun thing that you can do to add a little bit of embossing, heat embossing to your projects. So either just directly a greeting or a different image, or add some VersaMark to the edge and then give yourself an embossed edge on your label. Thanks so much for watching.